Jim from Advanced Performance Shooting again. And this month's Rangemaster Drill of the Month is the Reston Group Standards. And the Standards is intended to be shot as a cold drill. Studying and researching a little bit that particular exercise, it made me ask the question, what actually is a cold drill? I think for those folks that shoot competition, whether it's IDPA or USPSA, very often we hear folks talking about simply surviving the first stage of the match, the cold stage, if you will. And I think what we're really experiencing is a mental level of cold and not a physical level of cold. If we look at an exercise like the Hateful Eight, that's an extremely difficult standard. 8 shots, 8 yards, 8 seconds. Magazines are staged 4, 2, and 2. So shoot 4, reload, shoot 2, reload, shoot 2, all in 8 seconds. If that's your cold drill, I think the mental side of how much work that is could have an effect on your performance. There's a very similar concept to the cold drill, and that we often hear that shooting is a perishable skill. I don't think the skills from shooting are nearly as perishable as the mental side of shooting. Physically, we remember what to do, or we know what to do from a physical standpoint. But mentally, we forget the little things, the little nuances, those essential visualize the task at hand. If we picture each step that it's going to take to accomplish a specific drill, I think that warms it up a little bit, makes it less of a cold drill. We don't go into it thinking about the whole entire process, rather each single task step in the sequence that it requires to complete that task. If we look at the Vickers Devil drill, the 6.66 drill, staged magazines for a total of 6 rounds of reload somewhere on the in-between, shot at 6 yards on a B8 center. Today I'm using a great value 8-inch paper plate. It's easy to keep the target fresh. It's easy to work on calling your shot because it contrasts with the tan backer that I'm using. So I think when we think about it in that cold drill context, you take a brand new drill, Bakersfield PD, looks to be a very tough drill. Nothing crazy, but I've never shot it before. I don't know that I've ever even seen it before. Picture each thing that you need to do, each task in sequence, relative to the time in your head, and shoot the drill. Shoot to your standard. I don't think there's anything wrong with shooting cold drills. I don't think there's anything wrong with evaluating yourself on your cold drill performance. But I believe that you have to keep meticulous records of what your cold drill performance is. Look for trends, look for places that can be fixed. If it's a cold drill in a class, if it's a cold stage that you look at like that, that's a once over. That's an evaluation, that's a test. It's not something that we necessarily can learn from. But a cold drill in training is something I think that with good record keeping, we can start to see trends and we can start to improve our performance.